everyone, I am Priyanka Bhardia of 12G. Currently part of the Teach for India volunteer program, I am teaching literacy, English as I commonly identify it, to grade 2 students. Teach for India or TFI is a non-profit organization and a movement of leaders that was founded by Shaheen Mistry in 2009. To build a growing movement of leaders, Teach for India runs a 2-year fellowship and supports an alumni movement. The mission of Teach for India is, one day all children will attain an excellent education. Post the fellowship, one joins a network of leaders serving in various pathways known as the alumni movement. To know more, you may refer to the launch video of MBWA Youth Radio as well as the official site of TFI. The links can be found in the description below. On becoming a volunteer, you not only gain experience but also help fuel the process of solving educational inequity in our country. It is a 12-week program where you help a group of students improve at math or literacy under the guidance of a fellow mentor. Let me take you through the process of applying. First, go to the official site of TFI, that is teachforindia.org. There, you will find a few drop-down menus on the top. Click on Join the Movement option and then on the Volunteer option. The volunteer page will open. Scroll to the end of the page and you will find an option saying Apply Now. Click on this option and you will go to the volunteer form. Please note that the forms are not always open. If no form comes up, don't be disheartened, they will open up soon again. The first page of the form will ask for various details such as your contact details, educational or professional status. In the next page, you will write who your most recent employer or educational institution is. The third and the last page will include questions about your preferred location, areas you want to contribute in, your views on an equitable education, your reference for TFI, and history with the organization, if any. Lastly, you submit your application. Teach for India takes at least 2 weeks to inform about acceptance or rejection. If accepted, you will be informed about your fellow mentor, the students you will be teaching along with their school and grade. Also, you will get to know which subject you will be teaching. I would like to leave you with the thought, ज्ञान बांटने से ही बढ़ता है. And who better than students to help other students? You can now hear more about this from my friend.
Hi everyone, this is Uditi Lunawat. I'm really glad to be here today. I'm a student of grade 12 and I will be talking to you about Teach for India like my friends have been doing. And I guess you've probably heard from me in our previous videos and the content that we've uploaded on our radio channel. So the last time I was here talking about TFI was when I had just started my journey with them. It had been 2 weeks or so, and now I'm talking to you after gaining 12 solid weeks of experience with them. So let's get started without any further ado. Now, once you get in, Priyanka spoke all about the application process and what happens, like you'll either get rejected or you'll get accepted. I'm going to talk to you about what's going to happen once you are accepted for the program. So you will have to go through a series of questions, and you will be given a set of rules. The first thing that you're going to read would be Child Protection Policy. Now, it might sound daunting, but it really isn't. It's very, very important though. You'll have to go through it so that when you start taking classes with the children, you do not violate policy. For example, in general also, you are not supposed to yell at kids. You're not supposed to yell at them and make them scared if they're not doing their work. There is a certain way to go about it, and that is the art of teaching. So you will have to learn a lot from there. And it's very important because once you go through the CPP, you'll be so well equipped that even if you apply for other programs, it'll give you an edge because you know exactly where you're setting your foot in, and you will be able to take it forward from there. apart from the CPP, you will be given a set of guidelines for yourself and a support system for you. Because in case you find yourself in a situation where you do not know what to do and you feel like, there is a matter which needs to be brought up in front of people who have the authority to take action in that situation, you have your list of contacts and email IDs and the people who can help you out. So you can go through that also. So once you cover this first stage, you're going to be given a quiz and you'll have to answer the questions which have been given over there, like you do in a normal quiz, right? So once you're done with that, you will go to your second stage. Now, when I was applying for this program, they had asked me at the very beginning during my application stage, which subject would I like to teach the students. I had picked literacy over mathematics because honestly, mathematics isn't my strong suit, but I felt that I could do well as far as English was concerned. So I picked that. And once I got accepted, I was given mathematics because they realized that they do not have enough teachers for that particular subject. So there is nothing to be disheartened if you don't get the subject of your choice, because most of the times your fellow mentor is going to be very, very flexible. So my mentor, she was a very, very kind lady, and she allowed me to take both literacy and math classes with the students. So I would alternate, and I had 5 students in total. I will not be divulging their details here because that's private, but that's confidential. But here I am. I taught 5 students, and I would teach them math and literacy. So on my volunteer dashboard, you're going to get one as soon as you get accepted. You'll have your dashboard. You can use a link that TFI will mail to you. So there only you're going to get a resource packet, not just one. Actually, you'll get a series of packets in the weeks to come, right? So you can go through the lesson plan, the vision, the kind of things they wish for you to teach, and what else you can do. For example, if you're someone who's good at singing, you could very well bring that into your classroom. If you're good at art, incorporate that into your lesson plan and bring in a creative way of making your students draw and understanding a certain concept. I am talking about this straight from my heart because it's something that's very close to me, and it's something, an experience as personal as this. I don't think I'll ever forget this because it was a humbling experience. So I still remember my first few weeks with them. It's as fresh as day one in my mind. It's as if it happened yesterday. So once you're done going through the packets, you'll get certain things called bridge resources. Now, this is what it looks like. You can see certain videos and PDFs on my screen. I got these from my fellow mentor. So here it is, a word ball. The kids made this and it's pretty beautiful. This is the one they have in their school. I taught students of a school in Bangalore. So this is what they have in their classroom. This is a sight word list. There is a high probability that most of you will not be acquainted with terms like this, sight words or sound words. So it's just like phonic words is something that I guess most of you would know. But sight words, it's as simple as that. Did, good, do, have, the list goes on. What the case here is that when we were learning these things, they did not term it in such a way. They did not call it sight words. We just learned them. So now they have a way of doing it. But yes, once you understand the concept, it's pretty familiar to you, right? Just a name. So that I won't be playing the video, but that was actually a recording of the live class that my mentor took every day with them, so that I could get an idea of what the students are like. Are they very naughty, or what exactly it is that they do? So that was one thing. Now coming to the second part of it, this is a student routine that you will be given. So see, the thing is that they come from different economic backgrounds, and half the time both parents are working. So it becomes very difficult to always have a device around. You either have younger siblings to take care of, or elder siblings who would need the device for their classes and higher level of education. So you need to be very, very considerate and understanding when it comes to, fixing your sessions with them. You can't go out of the way and just plan the session without looking into their convenience. So that is one thing that you need to be very, very accommodating of. Then coming to sync and async timetable, sync is the live classes, async would be the homework time of the kids. And I would primarily get them to my class and, help them with their homework and help them explore certain things about what they did during the morning. So that is something that I did with them. And it's very important to keep track of what has been going on during the live classes in the morning, because until and unless you know what they've been taught, you will not be able to help them out with their homework. You can't expect them to tell you everything. They won't be able to do that at the beginning, but as in when they progress, they'll understand what you're trying to say. And the more languages you know, the better. That was one thing. I was fluent in English when I met them, but Tamil, Telugu were requirements for me. I did not know how to speak in both of those languages, so it was difficult. But I was very, very happy to acknowledge that the children were starting to understand what I tried to teach them in English. So that was one bit of it, and I think this is an experience that will give you an edge in whatever you do in the future. There is room for personal growth even when you're trying to lift someone else up. So that is something that was really, really special about Teach for India's program. And I think, when learning goes both ways, there's nothing better for you to kind of expect. So that was very, very interesting. People, new networks. It was so enriching. And the students, they won't open up to you at the very beginning. They'll take time. I'd be lying if I told you that, yeah, I had one introductory meeting with them and after that everything was fine. We got along pretty well. No, it actually took 2 to 3 sessions for them to be well acquainted with me, And during the introductory meeting, this is an anecdote that, one student started crying because he was scared that I was going to, be very harsh, going to be very strict. That's the kind of trauma or personal backgrounds that they're coming from. So you need to be very, very emphatic, and if not sympathetic, please don't do that, but just be understanding. Understand where they're coming from. That will help you go a long, long way. So after that, I also had a student who was specially abled. So I tailored my sessions accordingly. He was dyslexic. So, you need to be very, very particular about the way in which you're going forward with your lesson plan, how you're teaching them the words, how you're teaching them the stories or mathematics. So that was very, very interesting. It definitely added to my currently existing set of skills. I'm really proud to have done this because it warms my heart till date, and I'm in touch with my students. So I hope I was able to motivate you to step forward and contribute. If not Teach for India, find any other volunteering program that you probably can and you find it more feasible, and just go for it. Do not question yourself, just go for it. Thank you so much.
Hello, I am Deshna Kamdar, a student of class 12. I found out about the Teach for India volunteer program from Principal Ma'am in one of my English elective classes, where we were discussing the kind of legacy we, as the senior most students in this school, would like to leave behind for our juniors. She encouraged us to engage in community service and mentioned this amazing program. But I was less than motivated. I feared rejection and failure. What pushed me to become a part of this initiative were my peers who applied and were recruited as volunteers. Their enrollment helped me see that this was a real possibility for me too. It helped me leave behind the fear of judgment I had and engage in this fulfilling experience. I still have a little over a month to go, and I can't wait to see what the future holds. Interactions with my students make my day and energize me. This is why I would urge you to join this program and help build the foundation of education and let it reach the masses.
Hello everyone, I'm Adrita Jana of 12G and I have been working with TFI since June 2021. I recently completed 3 months of volunteering tenure with them. I was assigned 6 students from Chennai to teach literacy. I must say, it has been an enriching and a novel experience that came with the joy of being able to connect with young people from across the country and with the satisfaction of being able to contribute something to the society. If we have still not been able to convince you to volunteer with TFI or any other similar organization, let me tell you something. Through our interactions with our teachers in our daily classes, we have come to know that contributing to such initiatives actually gives an edge to our resumes and CVs because it tells any institutes we might want to apply to in future that we did not just limit ourselves to textbooks but instead made an effort to reach out to the wider community and contribute towards positive social change. We do hope that you will consider volunteering with NGOs or such organizations in future.